Good morning, Spartans. So we're getting a lot of questions about testing and who has to take what tests and what sessions and what have you. So Mr. Tredor and I are going to, see, we're 6 feet apart here, are going to give you guys some information and hopefully be able to answer some of those questions. So, first of all, let's talk about the ELA FSA. ELA, English Language Arts, FSA, Florida Standards Assessment. The grade levels that have to take that test: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and any 12th graders who did not pass it in 10th grade. Now, normally 11th graders wouldn't be taking it, but 11th graders are taking it because they should have taken it in the spring. It is a graduation requirement. They should have taken it in the spring, and they weren't able to because of the pandemic. So all 11th graders are what we call retakers right now, even though they haven't taken it before, so retakers. So 11th graders have to take it in order to graduate. 10th graders have to take it in order to graduate. The 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th graders will be taking it in the spring. It is a 3-part test. It's a writing test on one date and then 2 reading sections of the test, and they are on 2 different dates. Those are computer-based tests, and again, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will take it in the spring. 11th graders who were 10th graders last year and weren't able to test, and 12th graders who have not passed it yet. Those students are taking it now, and they will have another opportunity to take it in the spring. Those students can also take the SAT, ACT as concordant scores to try to graduate. So if you are in ELA FSA, again, a 3-section test, and those dates should be on the calendar on the school's website. And then the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be taking that one in the spring. The Math FSA is a 2-session computer-based test for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. All 6th, 7th, and 8th graders should be taking the Math FSA. That is a state requirement. The Algebra, and that one is spring only, or is that one now also?
That one's spring only.
Spring only. Okay. So the Math FSA for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders is in the spring. The Algebra 1 EOC, that one is a December test and a spring test. If your student is taking Algebra 1 now, then they will test in December. If they are taking Algebra 1 from January to May, they will test in May or April, whatever the date is. But that Algebra 1 EOC is a graduation requirement. It is 30% of the student's overall grade for the course. They cannot graduate without passing that. If your student took Algebra 1 in past years and has not passed the EOC, then they can use the ACT and SAT as concordant scores. And PSAT, can they use the PERT for concordant?
Only if they're seniors.
Okay, so
right now.
Seniors can use the PERT as a concordant score for the Algebra EOC. So again, Algebra 1 EOC, if you're currently taking Algebra 1, you'll take the test in December. If you take it in January, you'll take it in May. If you take the course in January, then you'll take the test in May. That is 30%. It is a graduation requirement. Geometry EOC is also 30% of your overall grade. It is also given in December and in the spring. If you are taking geometry now, you'll test in December. If you're taking geometry in the spring, you will test in May. That one is taking the course as a graduation requirement. Passing the test is not a graduation requirement, but sitting for the test is. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And that one is also 2 sessions. It is also computer-based. The Civics Eoc is for 7th grade students taking civics. Civics, the course is a requirement, is a state requirement. Passing the test is not a state requirement, but sitting for it is. It is also 30% of your overall grade. Civics is given in, if you're currently taking civics class now, then you'll take the test now in November, December. If you're taking the class in January, then you will test in April or May for civics. So again, civics is 7th grade civics class only. U.S. history has an EOC. If you're a high school student taking U.S. history, you have to take that test to graduate. It is also 30% of your overall grade. If you're taking U.S. history now, then you'll take the test November, December. If you're taking the course in January, then you'll take the test in the spring. Biology, EOC, if you're taking a biology class, if you're in high school and you're taking a biology class, 30% of your overall grade. Graduation requirement tests is, if you're taking the class now, you'll take the test this November, December. If you're taking the class in January, you will take the test in the spring. Those civics, U.S. history, and bio are all 30% of your overall grade. They are one session. They are computer-based. You have to come to school to take it, and you have to take those tests in order to graduate. Okay, so that was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Math, FSA, 2 sessions, computer-based. Algebra 1, geometry, 30% of your overall grade. All computer-based, all at school. Final exams, 6th through 12th grade. Final exams are December 14th through the 18th. They are 20% of your grade, 20% of your overall grade. Final exams, December 14th through the 18th. Okay, I went over ELA, FSA, 8th grade science. 8th grade, if you are in 8th grade, you are going to take the Science FCAT. It is paper-based. It is 1 day, and it is spring only?
Yes.
Spring only. Whether you're taking science now or taking it in January, that test is only offered in the spring. So if you are in 8th grade, you will take that test in the spring. AP. If you're taking AP Calculus or AP Human Geography, Advanced Placement Calculus or Advanced Placement Human Geography, those tests are in the spring. We don't set those dates. The College Board sets those dates. They are in May. They are 1 day. The date and time is set by them so that there's no makeup or anything else on that. So again, AP Calculus, AB, and AP Human Geography. SAT and ACT tests are given periodically throughout the year. You can check those websites for that. We're giving the SAT in the spring? In March. We're giving the SAT in March here at school. Okay, the PSAT was already given. That was for 10th and 11th graders. For 11th graders, the PSAT was for eligibility for the National Merit Scholar.
That's it.
What's the QT?
Qualifying test.
Okay. For the National Merit Scholar Award or Scholarship, the 11th grade PSAT determines that eligibility. So that test is already over. That was last week or the week before, or maybe 3 weeks ago. Honestly, I don't remember, but it's already happened. ASVAB is already over also. ASVAB was for the 11th and 12th graders. It is only given every other year. The ASVAB is every other year, and that was 11th and 12th graders. That was last week. Okay, did I cover them all? 6th, 7th, and 8th, 9th, and 10th ELA FSA, 11th and 12th retakes for ELA FSA, 3 parts. So what are we giving today?
Today we have a small group of students taking the algebra, second session of the algebra test as a retake. So those students they need it for graduation. They're not sitting in there because they're in algebra, they're sitting in there because they haven't passed the algebra test.
Okay. And then what were we supposed to have given yesterday?
That one was supposed to be the FSA rights for the 11th graders and any 12th graders who need it for graduation.
Okay, and that one's going to be rescheduled, and we're going to tell the parents when that's rescheduled for.
Yeah, we're going to push that one to this Thursday. So the FSA that was scheduled on Thursday will be pushed sometime next week.
Okay. Okay, and then so what do we have? What else do we have this week?
After today, on Thursday, the 11th graders and a few 12th graders will be taking the writing portion of the FSA. Nothing on Friday. Next week, when we finalize the schedule, we'll put out which day the test that we missed yesterday will be rescheduled for.
Okay, and now we have a window. The state gives us a window of when we can give these tests, and we schedule towards the end of the window so that we have as much time for instruction as possible. So when you get a phone call from us in the morning saying, hey, why isn't your child here? We have a test today. That's because we are trying to get everybody tested inside that window, and makeup days are also inside that window, and we usually only schedule like one makeup day, so there's not a lot of time to make up. And if I'm not mistaken, to take on tests that have 2 or 3 sessions, you have to take
them in order.
They have to be taken in order. So if they don't take session 1, then they can't take session 2.
Correct.
Okay, which means it's imperative that your students are here for those testing days. So what I'm going to do is double check the school's calendar on the school's website. I'm going to make sure that it's updated and correct. If it's not, that'll be done by the end of today, so you'll be able to go into the website and check that calendar. And then also, Mr. Treador, that testing calendar that you create at the beginning of every school year that we use as our cheat sheet, is that something that we're able to share with the parents?
Yeah, that information is usually just uploaded onto the school's calendar, but I could share it as a separate document.
Could we make it like a PDF and then I can blast it out for the parents so that they have that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we will get that information out to you guys. I know we're getting a lot of questions. We've had a lot of parents say, well, my kid was there last week. Why do they have to be there again today? So we are going to try to get all that information out to you by the end of today. So keep in mind that your students do know this. Your students have been told by their classroom teachers, by the school, and then we do send out those blasts, the text blasts, and it's posted on Facebook and all of that. So that information is out there. So when you get that phone call from us in the morning, it should not be the first time that you're hearing about this. Okay, so that is all the testing information for the entire school year. We will probably update you again in the spring on those tests. And then, like I said, today at some point, we will get that information out to you. All right. Thank you and have a great day, Spartans.